my last article, The One-Armed Man and Liberalism, a frequent commentator at my blog, D for Doom, left the following comment, and I quote, "And liberalism always believes that that which is chosen is superior to anything natural or normal, except when it comes to sexuality. Modern liberalism exalts homosexuality and also insists that it is not chosen. It insists that homosexuals are born that way. And in the case of the transgender ideology, which they also exalt, they insist, weirdly, that being transgender is not chosen. They insist that a man who transitions into a woman was born a woman, and that is unchangeable. Modern liberalism certainly exalts the transgressive over the normal, but when it comes to sexuality and gender identity, they are rigid biological determinists. Modern liberals also see race as something that is not chosen, hence the hostility towards Rachel Dolezal for daring to identify as black when she was born white. Maybe what we're dealing with are two different models of liberalism that have nothing whatever in common. Old school liberals certainly believe that you can choose your destiny. The modern variety of liberal seems to believe the opposite." Unquote. And now, this is my reply. Liberalism believes in choice. It believed in it yesterday, it believes it today, and it will believe in it tomorrow. But life is complex. It doesn't always run in a straight line. Instead, it takes detours and back roads. It even ends up in cul-de-sacs and has to retrace its steps. Liberalism has this problem. It wants to run in a straight line, but it must constantly change tack to deal with the things that oppose it. Homosexuality presented it with a problem. Traditionally, it was viewed as unnatural. The problem for liberalism was, why would someone choose to be something that was unnatural? The answer was to show that it was not unnatural, instead that it was totally natural. Not only was it natural, but it was unchosen. It was genetic, until no genetic marker was found. Nothing to notice, nothing to be upset about or disgusted by, because it was natural. That argument worked even better than they'd hoped, but it also put them in a bind. How do you get rid of this argument and proceed to one where people choose their own sexuality? For that is the position that liberalism wants. The answer is transgenderism. Here are people who choose to be either male or female. However, the enemies of liberalism do not accept that these people choose. Instead, we say that these people are mentally ill, because wanting to change from male to female, or vice versa, is unnatural, which has put liberalism into a bind. For the time being, they are stuck. They cannot say that either homosexuality or transgenderism is a choice, because that leaves them open to the attack that these things are unnatural. In the 1970s, they tried to square this circle by pushing the idea of bisexuality, that sex was on a spectrum and that whatever someone chose was the right choice. That's what the B in LGBT stands for. But when was the last time you heard someone talk about it? However, that didn't work because both heterosexual and homosexual men rejected it. The aim is to find a way to make all sexuality about choice. When it comes to race, liberalism does not like people changing race. Its views are long-term, not short-term. People changing race upsets liberalism, but that does not mean that it supports race. What it wants is a raceless human society. They want race mixing. They want coffee-coloured people. One human race where there are no races. But they want people to willingly choose this. Here is the inherent contradiction within liberalism. It wants people to choose, but people keep making the wrong choices. That forces liberalism to make choices for people, to protect them from making the wrong choice, to protect them from themselves.